Why, hello there, we're going to play Shadows of Brimstone, and the first thing I'd like to do is to thank John for sending me these hellbats, which I've painted up in a lava bat colour scheme. For the life of me, I can't find your original YouTube comment where you offered these to me, so if you want to give yourself a shout out underneath this video, you go on right ahead. Alright, let's get on with the mission. Raiding local towns and inns during the night, the Crimson Hand have been collecting unwary travellers and townsfolk to use as sacrificial offerings to an ancient evil. A creature of terrible darkness that they wish to bind to their will. Whispers and rumours have been heard that this is no ordinary sect of the Order, but one that is led by an Inquisitor of the Crimson Hand. Feared for their ruthless methods and vile cunning, the enigmatic Inquisitors are known to be higher officials in the Order. If these townspeople are allowed to be devoured by the beast, who knows what greater evil will be unleashed next by this Inquisitor and his Order of the Crimson Hand. And who knows what sinister reason the Professor has to want to put a stop to this Inquisitor. Randall is himself a member of the Order. Alright, so what do we need to do? Inside the mine there are 3 kidnapped townsfolk, and as the darkness marker goes up, these poor townsfolk will be fed to the beast one by one. Clue tokens. When we find one, we will have found one of the townsfolk and can rescue them. And the third clue we find will be the cultist's inner sanctum. Now, if we get to the inner sanctum, if one townsfolk has been munched, there'll be an extra threat. If 2 townsfolk have been munched, then the beast has awoken, and it's got to be an XL-sized beast, which means the Goliath. Right, other special rules. It is, of course, a Crimson Hand adventure. Ooh, and look at this, fast darkness. When we fail to hold back the darkness tracker goes up 2 spaces. When a townsfolk gets sacrificed, we add D3 Growing Dread cards to the stack. And look at this, we get to get rid of 2 of the exploration tokens before we start. Well, obviously we don't want to get rid of any of the clue tokens, but perhaps we should get rid of some of the nasty ones. Right, see, that one's got a clue token on, even though it's got Growing Dread on. I think we'll get rid of the ambush attack, and what do we think? Just another attack token. Alright, what happens when we fail? The monster bursts out from the mine, so we all get injuries on top of any we get for being knocked out, and D3 buildings are destroyed in the next town. Okay, you two. You know what you're doing. You know what the stakes are. Sadie, you have the old lantern. Please hold back the darkness. That will do. And we rolled a 1, so Shihai's call. Randall can gain a grit. Okay, Randall, you may activate. Don't dawdle on this one. I think time is of the essence. So that's a very good movement roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will get you to the doorway. Let's have a peek through. An icky sticky spider's lair. Alright, Sadie. Keep up. 1, you gain a grit. Let's spend it immediately. Okay, very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we have in here? 2 encounters, and we'll also check to see if we have the void layer. 1 or 4, 5 or 6. Yes, so 3 encounters to deal with here, and 1 exit. And we mustn't forget it's a Crimson Hand adventure, so there's also a chance we'll have a Crimson Hand encounter. We do, so that's 4 encounters in the spider layer. My goodness, what a busy little chamber. We've got Void Layer, Mark of Shihai, Black Blood of the Earth, which I've not had before, and Curse of Coronado. Let's do Void Layer first. The passage is covered in thick sticky webs, and soft egg sacs line the walls and floor. All heroes on this map tile need to roll a 1 or higher to hit for their attacks, and this remains in play. Also, roll a d6. 1! Venom Burst. So 1 random hero needs to make an agility test. Right, let's hope it's not going to be Sadie, because she's clanking around in the outlaw armour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be Randall. His agility is 2, which isn't much better, actually. Okay, Randall, let's see if you can dodge the gloop. You need a 5. Nope, you've been splooched. You're splattered with gooey venom as a nearby egg sac bursts open. Take D6 wounds and D6 sanity damage with no defense. Wounds, 2. Not too bad. Sanity damage, 4. He's fine. I'm sure he's been covered in gloop before. A large banner hangs from the wall here, depicting a blood-red hand with its fingers splayed out, save for 2 central fingers, which are pressed tightly together. You have seen this symbol before. Well, of course Randall's seen this symbol before. The Order of the Crimson Hand. He's probably got a tattoo of this on his back. If they are involved, there's no telling what evil that they may have awakened. Well, some lore tests all around. Right, Randall, you're the clever clogs with a lore of 5 at the moment. You pass. And Sadie, also a bit of a smarty pants at the moment, thanks to the Ring of Zoo. You can roll 4 dice. And you also pass. So that's 10 XP each and a grit each. Randall is now maxed out on 3. This chamber holds a massive pool of bubbling black liquid. Gooey and viscous. That's the theme for this room, isn't it? Goo. The pool pulsates with a rhythm of life that is mesmerizing to your mind. Choose, move close and investigate, or skirt the edges and avoid the pool. Now, the first option is a lore test, which Randall could be good at, but what's the reward? What's this? Discarding corruption points? We do not want that for Randall, do we? So we're going to avoid this. We're going to skirt the edge, so 1 random hero needs to make a spirit test. So it's going to be Randall. His locket and statue of the Shadow King help here. He's rolling 4 dice, needs to score a 5. There we go, we successfully edge around the gloop. And it's onto the Curse of Coronado. Oh, we do have 20 XP for Randall as well. Alright, this curse. There is some mysterious force leading us in the wrong direction. Who is this Coronado? What does he want with us? This is going to make things tough almost straight away. It's going to add 1 to the number we need to get to hold back the darkness. Do we want this early in the mission? It's going to make things tough. We could cancel that, like a darkness card. So we do have a way of doing that. Sadie, where is it? There we are, Tomb of Vontaro. I think we'll catch this in straight away. Sadie finishes reading from the book, closes the covers. That's the end of the round. We can move on to the next one. Sadie, hold up the old lantern. That will do just fine. Randall, 4 plus 1 for Runa the Traveller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will get you to the doorway. Let's have a look. A T-junction, no exploration token. Sadie. Alright, let's spend that grit straight away. 1, 2. You may as well scavenge amongst the egg sacs there. Sadie, nothing. Onwards. That is a failure. Yeah, no She-High's called bonus because Randall is maxed out. So, just on with movement. Let's go this way. You can go there. Let's have a peek. A time-wasting long passage, so we'll have Sadie move. Not very far. Okay. Alright, Sadie, scavenge. Nothing. Very well. We roll a double 5. That's the thing. A shriek of pain and suffering echoes through the mind, chilling you to the bone. So each hero takes D6 horror hits. Randall, you take 5. I take 3 sanity. Or 3 sanity loss, I should say. There we go. Okay, Sadie, you're a bit twitchy, but you're going to have to take 6 willpower saves. 1, 2, 3 sanity damage. Alright, Randall activates 6. We're just going to go this way instead. Here we are, a lovely rail tunnel. We'll move on to Sadie. I had rolled a 2 for her movement in the last round, hadn't I? So Because she's a wild card, she should have gained a grit for that. There we go. And we'll activate her now. 3. 1, 2, 3. Side by side. In the rail tunnel we have an encounter and one exit. I'm just going to say that that's the exit. I don't want any overlapping tiles here. We have a scorching hellfire. And do we also have a Crimson Hand encounter? No. So what do we have here? The very fires of hell burn in this room, erupting in gouts of flame and death. Alright, so we need to hurry through this chamber. Let's keep that darkness. Yep. Very good. And right, before we activate our heroes, we need to put down some hellfire markers. They've got to go here, and then they bounce. This is like a blob of fire erupting from the ground and then splurting somewhere. So this one goes into the wall, and then here. I don't know if they can overlap or not. And then the other one bounces this way. And then, onto Sadie. So Sadie takes 1 hit. She can make a defense roll. She dodges. And then the hellfire markers go away. Right, let's move. Randall, only 3 spaces. Fine. Go on, you can scavenge. Ooh, 2 hits. Yeah, hit me with those coins and money. Something shiny, thank you. What's it gonna be? 1 piece of darkstone. And a useful discovery. Draw a gear card. We have got 2 bottles of whiskey. Well, Randall's bag is torn, so he can only take 1. And 20 XP. Right. Sadie. Gains a grit. Yeah, we'll have her spend it straight away since she's maxed out already. So that's going to be 6 movement in total. Alright, let's have a look through the doorway. I'll have to rearrange the tiles. Of the mining lift. Let's see what's here. Still no clues. Haven't found any of the kidnapped townsfolk yet. So we have 1 encounter. There we go. Do we also have a broken lift? No. And do we also have a Crimson Hand encounter? Nope. Okay, so just steam clouds. So we had steam clouds in our last adventure, so we know the deal. The room is filled with hot, thick steam. That makes it difficult to see and shoot in. However, there's no monsters here right now. Let's roll to keep out the darkness. 7, that will do okay. We need to spawn some hellfire, so I'm actually going to space it out like this to minimize the chance of it hitting anyone. And then let's have this fire bounce around a little bit. So this one goes here and then into the wall and it disappears. And then this one, 2, goes this way. And then it doesn't matter where it bounces here, does it? 1 into the wall and disappears. Not really much of a threat, actually. There's not much chance of it actually hitting. Okay, Randall, you may activate. 6 or 7 with Rune and the Traveller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite at the doorway. I'm going to spend a grit. And move here and peek through. Oops. A corner passage. Okay, Sadie, come along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can scavenge. No. Alright, on to the next round. We are now in the middle section of the depth track, so we will need an 8 or better to keep out the darkness. And continuing to do very well with the lantern. Let's activate Randall. We are away from the hellfire now, so we can put him around the bend and see what's here. The Black Pool. Alright, Sadie. 1, 2, 3. We'll have you scavenge the corner passage. Finding nothing. Alright, let's see what's here. We haven't had a fight yet, have we? This has got to be a fight. No, it's another encounter. However, we also get our first clue, and there's one gate exit. Here is the sacrificial altar. And the encounter is a dark rift. And we're also going to check to see if there is another Black Blood of the Earth encounter on a 4, 5, or 6. There is. And is there a Crimson Hand encounter on a 1, 2, or 3? Yes, so another busy room. Right, let's deal with these in a random order. First of all, we have You Don't Belong Here. A Crimson Hand guard stands at the far end of the room, pointing at you and shouting, running towards a large bell suspended from the wall. You only have moments to stop him before he sounds the alarm to warn the others. So, one of us, of our choice, needs to make an agility test. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's down to Randall to be fast on the draw of his Colt rifle. We need to score 6. His agility is 2. And he nailed it. Very good. He draws his weapon and takes down the guard before he reaches the bell. He gets 30 experience. Before we move on to the next encounter, there's something I forgot. As always, the Ring of Zoo. Sadie needs to take D3 corruption hits at the start of the adventure. So she takes 2 corruption hits. And so takes 1 point of corruption. She's up to 3 now. I remembered that because the next encounter is Black Blood of the Earth. So once again we have a massive pool of bubbling black liquid. Our choices are move closer and investigate, or skirt the edges. Now I thought this time, since Sadie is not too bad with law, we could have her investigate and perhaps get rid of some corruption points. So Sadie approaches with the Ring of Zoo and fails. We can spend a grit, reroll. There's a 6, so she passes. She gains 50 experience points and discards D3 corruption points. There we go, 50 XP. She is mesmerised by the black pool, but comes away a little bit wiser, a little bit more pure perhaps. So we can get rid of 2 corruption points. This leaves our final encounter before we can rescue the townsperson. A dark rift. A massive chasm is torn through this chamber. As you approach it, the dark mist swirling about its gaping maw takes form. Floating apparitions shriek as they dart past you, threatening to tear away your most precious possessions, or even knock you into the darkness below. All heroes immediately gain their spirit times 10 experience points. I won't say no to that. So there's 40 for Randall and 30 for Sadie. Then every hero must roll a d6 for each individual anvil on every item they carry as the dark shadow beasts attempt to steal it away. Uh-oh, could this mean that Sadie's outlaw armor is going to disappear? If a 1 is rolled, the hero must either discard that item or roll once on the injury table as they struggle to hold onto it for dear life. So starting with Randall, his Colt rifle. He keeps it. Good. Statue of the Shadow King. It could be disappearing. What do we want to do? Take an injury? Okay, I think I'll let the apparitions drag this back to hell. The Book of the Occult. We're keeping that. Amulet of Kotak. We retain that as well. Alright, on to Sadie. Pistol. Keeping it. Plasma Arc. Yeah, we'll have that. Outlaw Pistol. You're not taking that? Yeah. What's next? Where is it? Outlaw Armor. We need to roll 3 dice. We're keeping it. Yes. And then finally the Black Gun Belt. What's this? That's also a heavy item. So the Tomb of Ontaro. We're keeping it. The apparitions disperse, and we're left with an empty chamber. We can rescue the townsfolk. It's chosen randomly from the 3 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be this lady here. Yeah, that's it. She's freed. And each hero recovers a grit. I think that with our first townsperson rescued, we'll end the session there. Bit of a strange session with no combat whatsoever, just encounters. But you know what that means. Next session is going to be all fights, all day long. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you next time.